to all of you. Welcome to Karachi Toastmasters Club. Today is our 1041 meeting at Karachi Toastmasters Club. We have some in-person participants as well. We have some of the online participants. In order to have a smooth meeting, there are certain rules which we need to follow. Those who are in person, please try to attend calls while the presenter is speaking on the. So if you have any important call to attend, please go out of the room and attend the call. Just in case, if it's not important, then we would suggest that you please stay and that as long as the speaker is speaking and try to avoid here and there. Those who are attending online, please keep your cameras on so that we can have an interactive sessions. At Karachi Toastmasters Club, we are not allowed to talk on sex, religion, and politics, so try to avoid these topics. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to Madam President if she's present.
Yes, she is.
Okay. So over to you, TM Heba.
Okay, good evening, good morning from whichever part of the world you are in. Toastmasters is a public speaking platform where people from different walks of life come together to improve their public speaking skills as well as leadership skills. It was founded back in 1924 by Raji Smedley in Englewood, Colorado. And it has more than 350,000 members worldwide in more than 200 clubs worldwide. And today's theme is coffee, cappuccino. So life flavor needs the bitterness underneath to be truly appreciated. Life is like a variety of coffees, all having different flavors and bringing depth. Some are bitter like Americano and cappuccino, while others are light like latte, and some can be sweet and nutty like mocha. All these flavors bring a certain level of intensity and depth to life, like our speakers will. The meeting segment will be divided into three parts. Firstly, we will have the prepared speeches, and according to the agenda, we have around 6 speakers. And table topic session, the second will be the table topic session, and the last session would be the general evaluation. So, and to facilitate me throughout the meeting, I will have a team of facilitators with me. The first facilitator is the grammarian. So, is TM Sadameen present in the meeting?
Yes. Yeah. Unlike you, he is here.
Yes.
Please come on the stage. Yeah.
You are making me guilty.
Mission accomplished.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, my name is Sadami and I will be the grammarian for the evening. My role as a grammarian would be to listen to the speeches and the table topics and note down some good uses of grammar as well as note down some of the incorrect uses of grammar. And then at the end of the meeting, I will highlight that to the part. Should I introduce what?
Yes, yes.
The word of the day, I've tried to gel in well with the theme. So the word of the day is gratifying, and gratifying means giving pleasure or satisfaction. So maybe if I use it in a sentence, it would go like, after a very tough day, it was gratifying to have a good cup of coffee. So maybe I'll also note down whoever uses the word gratifying in their speeches or in the table topic, and at the end I'll let you know if I have ever this word.
The second is the timer. Has the timer been decided, Deepan Kala?
Yes, he is Toastmaster Shahrukh Farooq. And let me introduce the role for him since he'll be doing it the first time. So he will be doing the timing for the physical speakers while I'll be doing for the virtual speakers. So the timing is that whenever someone reaches their minimum quota, we show them the green light or the green card. And when they reach the mid of the allotted duration, we show them the yellow card or yellow light. And when they reach the maximum duration, we show them the red card. Whenever, so for a speech, it's 5 green, 6 yellow, and red 7. For some projects, the duration today is different. So for example, my project is 10 to 15 minutes. So 10 would be green and 12 and a half would be yellow and 15 would be red. For table topics, it will be 1 minute to 2 minutes. So 1 minute green, 1.5 yellow, and 2 red. And for evaluations, it will be 2, 2.5, and 3 in the same order. Every time you're shown the red color, you need to wind up your presentation within 30 seconds, because if you exceed the 30 seconds, you will not be eligible for voting. So with that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, the next role holder is the R counter. So that is TM Karim Heather Megani. Over to you, TM Karim. Please introduce your role.
Thank you, President Hiba. So today I will be the R counter. And R counter, the role is that, the purpose of R counter is to note any overused words or filler sounds used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. What may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, and sound may be so be careful from me. Over to you, Toastmaster today.
Okay, then we have the vote counter, DTM Talha. Could you please introduce your role?
Tala, you are mute. Tala, you are mute.
Yeah, I've been saying for ages to find a more competent tech host. Since no one volunteers, yes, this is what we have to put up with. Anyhow, so during 5 times during the meeting, you will be asked to vote for best speaker, for best evaluator, for best table topics, for best big 4, and for best facilitator. So I'll be collecting the votes. I'll be floating a Google form on the club's group and also on the Zoom chat box, and you'll be voting for your favorite speaker, etc. As a vote counter, I cannot vote unless there's a tie. I'll be announcing the results at the end of the meeting. Over to you.
Okay, next we have the word master, that is TM Sadameen again.
I've already introduced the word of the day.
Okay, you have.
Yeah,
The listener is TM Mufaddal Murtaza. So please introduce your word.
Hello again. So I'll be the listener for the meeting. I'll be noting down some important phrases or any important things which speakers have mentioned in their speaking, and at the end of the session, I'll be taking a quiz just to know how well you have listened. So
Hello. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's time for the joke master, and that is me. Okay, what did the coffee do after it got mugged? What did the coffee do after it got mugged?
It cooled.
No, it got drunk. Okay, what do you call a sad cup of coffee?
Sad cup of coffee. A latte.
A depresso.
Nice.
How are coffee beans similar like kids? How are coffee beans similar like kids?
It doesn't let you sleep.
They always get grounded.
Grounded, right.
And the last one, why did the espresso keep checking his watch? Why did the espresso keep checking his watch? Anyone?
No,
Because he was pressed for time.
press what? Wow. All right.
So now we'll be going towards the prepared speeches session. The first speaker is DTM Talha bin Hamid, and I call upon his evaluator, TM Saad Amin, to introduce the project.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I will be evaluating ETM Talha bin Hamid's speech. So ETM Talha Hamid needs no introduction, so I'll skip that part. Although my experience tells me that you need to introduce the speaker first, but
You can go ahead.
So DTM Talha bin Hamid project is innovative planning help for elective question and answer session. The title is The World of Words. And let me just quickly elaborate the purpose statement. So the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. The speech length is 15 to 20 minutes. May I check on the timer what will be the timing for this?
Yeah. I think it is 15 to 20. 15 to 20. All right, it is 15 to 20. So 15 yellow, 15 green,
Green.
16 or 17 yellow, and 20 red.
And the title of the speech is The World of Words. DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sal. And before starting, I'll just urge everyone to listen to this speech, which is about a project that I'm doing, and keep your questions ready. Because it's a 15 to 20 minutes project, and we have to pass the time. Because do you want me speaking for 15 to 20 minutes? I don't think so. So, so all right.
We can interrupt in between as well.
No, only after this part. Yeah. When I say that the floor is open, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to all of you. How many of you are readers? Online, can you raise your virtual hands? All right, that's a good number. Almost half of us, in fact, more than half of us, are readers, and some of them are not raising their hands. I know them to be readers. So, my second question is, what about it? Besides reading, have you tried to make other people read who are not reading?
We lost the connection, it seems.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I hope I'm
Hello.
audible, everyone. Yeah, we are back. We are back. Apologies, there was a disconnection. So I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Tala.
All right, fine. So anyhow, I'll continue my speech. Meanwhile, the video gets turned on, right? So I thought to myself that we are really not taught creative writing in schools. We are taught to write like others. We are taught to emulate Charles Dickens, Emily Bronte, all the famous writers. And as we move through life, we find ourselves more and more inspired by pieces of writing. And our list of favorite books grows and grows and grows. But too few of us think about actually writing anything. I've talked to so many people, when I mention writing to them, they are actually scared. No, we cannot write. We don't have the skills. How can we write? Our writing won't be good. They have decided that they will be no good at writing without actually writing a single word. And here, I will just quote a quote from my favorite writer, Stephen King. And he says that the only way to learn to write is to write. What do we do in Toastmasters? We learn to speak by speaking. All of us have done our icebreakers, or at least most of us have. Did we take a course before doing icebreaker? No. We put ourselves on paper. We wrote. And then we delivered. And then we received feedback. And like it or not, if you have done any number of speeches in Toastmasters, you are a writer. Because Toastmasters teaches you writing before speaking. In order to be a public speaker, you need to be a good writer. In order to be a leader, you need to be a good communicator, whether in writing or orally. I had this novel idea that there should be a Toastmasters club that should be all about creative writing. Learning how to write, appreciating literary writing, and also practicing writing. And this is where the idea of Wordwise was born. Now, when the idea came, I discussed it with a few individuals from our district who are known to be good writers and good speakers, and they are of a literary disposition. Toastmaster Rusa Kawal is one of them. DTM Farooq, who was our national champion of public speaking in 2021, and Toastmaster Abrar Wani, who is also known to be a poet and a writer, amongst many others. And I gathered them around and I said to them that let's launch a club around this idea. Slowly and gradually, we exchanged ideas and a picture began to form. This would be a Toastmasters club unlike any other. It will have some unique attributes. The first one would be that it will have an educational keynote that will be focused on the art of creative writing, or at least literary appreciation. The second idea was that in lieu of table topics, it would have extempore creative writing. Now you would be asking yourself, how can creative writing be extempore? Let me tell you. We do prepared speeches in Toastmasters, which we spend days to write and practice, and then come to the club and deliver. And we do extempore speeches in Toastmasters, where we are called on the stage and then just asked to speak. In the first case, the time period between the conception of the idea and the delivery may be a week or 3 days or 4 days or even 2 weeks or a month. Or in case of a contest speech, it may be 6 months. In the latter case of a table topic speech, it is a few seconds. Where is the middle ground? Where is the semi-prepared speech that we find ourselves doing most of the time? In our workplaces, in meetings, in gatherings. For example, we are at a social gathering, or let's say there's an office event, an anniversary or a retirement. And the same morning, someone has told us that, we have this gathering at lunch and everybody will be asked to say a few words about the employee that will be retired. And you start thinking that, okay, we'll say this, we'll say this. Some people are very comfortable in blending in and recycling all the cliches that they've ever heard, because that's the laziest way out. But a minority is actually interested in standing up. They think that we should say something that should be memorable, that the person can take away with them. And we, as Toastmasters, belong to that minority. And so the idea was born where at the start of meeting, anybody who volunteered would be given a topic, and instead of speaking on the spot, they will spend 20, 25, 30 minutes crafting a 3 to 5 minute speech. And then they will be asked to read that out rather than perform it like this. So it will be a piece of writing. It would be a story. It will not be a formal speech. The second segment would be that anyone who volunteers would be allowed to recite a piece of writing. It can be in English or it can be in any other language. If it is in any other language, they will be asked to translate it at the end. You would say that what's the use of learning to recite someone else's words? After all, in Toastmasters, we are all taught that we should write our own speeches. Originality. But let me tell you, interpretive reading is an art. Anybody who has ever heard Zia Muhyiddin would know that he is a master of interpretive reading. In fact, any acting performance that you see in theater, on TV, in film, that is interpretive reading. People have written that script, and the actors are reading that script after memorizing it in their own way. Interpretive reading is an art. We've all heard speeches by Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, or any of our favorite orators. What are they doing? Favorite leaders, politicians, business tycoons. Most of the time, they're reading the words written by someone else, but they make them sound their own. Nobody says that the writer XYZ made a great speech. Everyone says that leader XYZ made a great speech. How do they do that? They read it, they internalize it, and then they deliver it with passion and sincerity. And that is interpretive reading. And that is also one of the segments that is part of Word by Toastmasters. The third is, of course, pathway projects that we all do. But in this club, the expectation from the members is that they will be doing the projects around creative writing. For example, they will be doing the project called storytelling or connect with the audience or using descriptive language. Although there's by no means a limitation that they can only do those projects, what they will be expected to do is bring the flavor of storytelling in whatever project they do. So count them, 4 completely unique segments. A workshop on creative writing, extempore creative writing, interpretive reading, and projects centered around storytelling. When this idea was formed, we started working on a launch meeting, and we had our first launch meeting on November the 27th. That launch meeting featured all these segments. The creative session was by the aforementioned DTM Mohammed Farooq. We had attendees from all around the world. We decided that we'll keep the time as every other Sunday, 7 p.m. What's the reason behind that time? Because Sunday, 7 p.m. is Sunday, 7:30 in India, Sunday, 10 p.m. in Singapore, Sunday, 6 p.m. in UAE, and Sunday, 2 p.m. in England. And if you move all the way to the west, in San Francisco, it is Sunday, 7 a.m. And believe it or not, those people are much more receptive to the idea of waking up early than us. I've seen that. So this time allows us to cover a vast majority of the planet in terms of meeting time. And so we started enlisting. We had a spectacular launch meeting, and people said that they have experienced something they never experienced before. Then we tried to work our way towards a second meeting, but it got delayed until I found this gentleman on LinkedIn, Alexander Matt. He is the second place winner in the World Championship of Public Speaking. He had a post there, and I just liked it and commented it and congratulated it. And I said to him that for me, you should have been the winner. And you know what they say about flattery? Always works. But in this case, it was genuine because I genuinely felt that his speech was the best. And he responded and he said that next time you'll be part of the jury. So that's how we got in contact, and I told him about this club. And luckily for me, he said, I love themed clubs. And then he decided to visit Wordwise. We fixed January the 8th as the meeting date, and we actually had him deliver a project on creative writing. And as of now, we have enlisted members, and we. So anyone who's listening, even remotely, this try become a chartered member, and now I open the floor for questions.
Will be conducting the meeting with the club?
It will be online because people will be participating from around the world. So anyone online who has any question, please ask it.
30 minutes to single participant write first and then.
Yeah, actually what will happen is that the participants will be given a topic and then the meeting will continue. The keynote will come, right?
That I understood, but you have a limit, the 30 minutes already too much. 30 minutes for writing, and then how many speakers are?
We target 5 to 6 speakers and 5 minutes each. So that's around a 30-minute segment, right? Yeah. So at the start of the meeting, all the participants who are willing to participate, they're given a title or a topic by someone who's conducting the session. They're given the same topic, right? And they're expected to write it during the other segments. For example, the workshop and the recital segment, the interpretive reading segment, and after that, they're asked to read it out.
One last question.
Yeah.
Maybe you did mention during your presentation, but probably I missed it. How many clubs the world are working, on this pattern? Do you have any club?
None that I know of. There are clubs which are centered around ideas, the idea of a book club. And yes, I forgot to mention it because my time was running out. There will be a segment where a book will be introduced by someone who feels that a book should be read by the audience. Yes, it will be introduced. But it is all about not just appreciating books, but actually creating books. This was the idea. So anyone online who has a question? Are you letting me get away? Yes, Toastmaster Shehroz Khan, you had a question? Asghar Saab. Yeah. Toastmaster
Oh,
Asghar.
yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes. When we said that a literature, literary disposition, people with literacy mindset, it means somehow we are making this club inclusive, a closed club, and not allowing people like me who are not exactly reading literature, who is not less interested in poetry than the political, social, and the books of journal interest. It seems to me that this club is tilt more to the pure literature rather than the social sciences and other. And when you said book club, when you said book, it seems to me, somehow I collected that impression that you were talking about the poetry and about the novels. So don't you think that doing so, we are making this club a close one and not allowing, instead throwing them away or pushing them away from this club?
See, the name and the agenda of this club is out in the open. Anyone feels interested to test whether you have a disposition or not. We don't even make it, and we are just aiming to celebrate creative writing in however form it may be. So rest assured, and you are much more literary than you are taking credit for. So you're just being modest here, but there is no such limitation. And anyone who feels interested after reading what this club is about is more than welcome to participate. That's why we have the interpretive reading segment, where people who do not even write, they can participate, right? They can read someone else's words. So yes, it is a little bit focused on literature and literary appreciation and creative writing. But other than that, there is no limitation.
I have one.
Yeah.
So this meeting starts at 7. Right?
Yes.
And how much time does it take for it to end?
2 hours, 7 to 9. Yeah. So right now it's fortnightly, right? Every other Sunday, 7 to 9. But once the club is chartered and the members want, maybe goes weekly.
So it is only for members, or you have guests as
No, it is open to anyone. But the segments, the speeches, the example, and the interpretive reading, that is done by members.
So is this a new thought which you're getting to Toastmasters International, a club running at this pattern, or were there already some guidelines available on Toastmasters International?
No, there are no guidelines. There are no guidelines. This club is being established under the Toastmasters. Teacher and everything. So with thank you so much. And you're free to ask me more questions either on my WhatsApp or through the Zoom chat. Over to you, Master of the Day.
The next speaker is TM Umair Ahmed, and his evaluator will be TM Majid Akhtar. So over to you, TM Majid Akhtar, to explain the objectives of the.
TMOD is not doing the evaluation part.
No. Yes, this time we don't have 12 speeches, so yeah. Yeah.
Turning. All right, Toastmaster Umair Ahmed. Purpose statement is the purpose of this project is for the member to develop or enhance his or her understanding of the steps and strategies to address conflict. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience learning about and or resolving conflict. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please put your hands together for PM Umair. Thank you so much.
Imagine a scene where two trains are coming together and close to collision. They were honking at each other. They were honking at each other to leave the track. And then the person was standing at the gear that can change the whole track, but he's just looking at those trains. They are coming they are coming closer. And they were honking at each other. And suddenly there was a bang. Both trains collided. Now, imagine the scene of the whole destruction that happened. Everything was totally destroyed. The train was destroyed, and all the surroundings. And the person standing there with that gear was just looking at that whole scene and just cursing himself that he didn't do anything about it. Now, those two trains, imagine that those two trains were the top executives of a company. They were honking at each other and trying to defend their idea. But what happened? The mediator there was not looking at it. He had the position, he could have changed the gear and could have avoided the conflict, but he was not doing that. And because of it, what happened? Both those people destroyed themselves and also the people around. So this is the power of not resolving the conflict. You might have came across with like these ideas, like these dialogues at your company that the idea in that meeting is not quite right. The other person would say, I think I have said good things about it, and I suggest good things. The people who were suggesting those were totally dreadful. The other person would say, I suggest this would really help the company to help their cash flows. The other person would say, yeah, the more powerful flow of the whole company. So these are the topics that has really power to end up at a fist fight. At my company where I work has recently transferred its SAP HANA from an old SAP. One day the IT manager came to us and said that we will have a 7 days downtime. Shocked, 7 days, and we have to stop all the entries. So we had some heated conversations with them. Said, okay, these 7 days are too much. We cannot stop all these things. He would say, we have to do it because all the companies do it. We must not do anything. Now, at that time,
the chief operating officer of our company had intervened at the right time. And they called the meeting, and they had a meeting for 2 to 3 meetings, or maybe more than that, just to resolve that how much downtime is acceptable. Now, after some time, and after several meetings, it was decided that downtime would be reduced to 4 days, and also from Friday to Monday, so that we can take advantage of weekends where we will not be making good entries. Had those people not met for this brainstorming session, and the CEO did not intervene, it would have been a big catastrophe in shape of licensing fees and in shape of consultancy fee and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, conflict is an important part of an organization. We cannot avoid it. The Joseph Campbell, a famous writer, has said that no two brains are the same and they cannot think in the same fashion. So there shall be a conflict. Fellow Toastmasters, conflict stirs innovation, creativity, and obviously organizational development in a company, an organization. However, if it is not resolved correctly, it can lead to grudges, resentment, and also to the destruction of the company. The leaders of the organization, the leaders must be very much mindful and understanding that when to intervene and how to intervene so that the conflict will not go out of their hand. If it is bleeding out, they must be thinking about it, that we must intervene so that the conflict is resolved timely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important part of a leader. Keep all these things in hand. If they don't, the whole organization may become dysfunctional and may not work correctly. Therefore, conflict management is an important part of an organization. If the conflict is not resolved, it can be a big loss to an organization. Thank you very much.
Moving on, will TM Mufaddil Murtaza be delivering a speech?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he will.
Okay, so I do not have the title, nor do I have this evaluator.
It is in the agenda that was floated. Anyhow, yeah, let me announce it. The project is leading in your volunteer organization level 5 elective, and the title is Illodoxophobia. Yeah. So yeah, that is the. I can share the presentation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can just give.
Okay. Fine. Let me do it. 5%.
It will be over here in the presentation. Yeah, I have to pay it.
Yeah. It's opening. All right. Now it is on presentation mode, and you can share it as you wish. This is the Zoom window. Yeah, just need to present it as. Yes.
Roll number 27. Roll number 27. Mufaddal. Yes, ma'am. Where are you? Why are you not paying attention to the class? Yes, ma'am. What happened? Okay, we are having a play and you have to act in that play. Me? No, I don't want to act. Yes, you have to act. You can do it. No, ma'am. Fazan is really good. You can take her. You can take him. You can take him in the play. This was me back in school where I was studying in grade 6, and I had a fear of opinions. I never wanted to be in public. I never wanted to be on a stage as I feared the opinions of others. And this fear is called allodoxophobia. In 2006, I went to DJ college. I took pre-engineering, where I managed to get good grades, and it allowed me to get into the NED University. Till that, I was hiding myself from the public. I was not going in front of public just due to the fear of opinion. But when I reached the university, I was not able to run anymore. And I was given a topic for the presentation where I stood first time in the front of new people as I was in the first year. And I was trembling. I was shivering. Though my bones, my hands were 22 years old. And you can trust them. They are 22 years old. Old things are more reliable. But they were shivering, and I was not in a situation to face them. At that point of time, I realized, Fadil, you need to do something. So how did I overcome? I started to volunteer. Volunteer is gratifying, trust me. And as you volunteer, you meet people with good vibes. I enrolled myself into a multi-departmental society in NED University, and the name of that society was Inventors. The good part and the beauty of that society was that it was not one departmental society. It was a society comprised of students from all over the university, and I got into that. As soon as I got into that, I had huge team. You can see that in the picture. And you can try finding me as well. So when I joined over there, I slowly and gradually tried to overcome this fear of opinion. When I started, there were different organizing events. We were organizing different events for the university. We were doing noble cause. We were hosting events. And if you have heard some of my previous speeches, I've mentioned the blunders I've made in auditorium full of 400 people laughing at once, all of them together. But that all improvised, that all improved me day by day. And when I reached my final year, elections happened, and I was elected as the president of the society. When I became president, that was the first time I got an opportunity to lead a volunteering organization. As I got elected as a president, the first thing I did was that I reorganized the organization. The opportunity I gave all the members the sense of opportunity, the sense of responsibility, and the sense of authority. Later, we started with the noble cause, and that was the cause with Darul Sukoon. Darul Sukoon is a place of love. We started to collect donations for them, and we gave gifts for them. Again, at that same point of time, the fear of allodoxophobia came back into my mind and said, Mufadil, what people will think when you will ask for money? They will think that the president will take all the money, run and eat it. But then I thought, no, I won't be getting back into that zone. I will focus and do whatever my mind is saying. Then we did many more organizations. We got so favored for Darul Sukoon that they started to invite us to host their other events as well. So if it's any other event inside Darul Sukoon, outside Darul Sukoon, in Expo Center, we assisted them. and we volunteered them and we provided them the best services we could do at that time. And it was really gratifying for all of us. Other than that, we did beach clean drives. We again did many hosting events, and that helped me overcoming my fear of opinion. We got so famous that the media started to cover us. And these are just some clippings from different newspapers and from news channels that we were covered due to our volunteer work. In the end, I would like to say that please always try to volunteer. It will help you to overcome your fear of opinion. At Toastmasters Club, we have many opportunities to volunteer. And if you volunteer, you will feel the difference in yourself when you'll be doing something which has nothing to give you, but you have a lot of things to give back to the people. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Now it's time for the fourth speaker. So TM Asghar is the fourth speaker, and TM Mufaddal Murtaza will be the evaluator. I call upon the evaluator to give the to tell us the objective of the speech.
So hello everyone once again. My target speaker today is TM Asghar, and just 1 minute. Okay. And he will be giving his speech from Leadership Development Level 2, Understanding Your Leadership Style. The title of this speech is My Leadership Style. The timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. My Leadership Style, TM Asghar, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam President, Toastmasters, my colleagues, and guests, if there is any. My internet connection is poor, but I will try to complete it as soon as possible. And in front of me, even the DTM Tala's screen is blinking. I don't know.
Yeah. Apologies for this. Actually, I can't help it. There's a malfunction, but I'm just using this for the timing. So, yeah.
Okay, so my timing it begins now.
Yeah.
Leadership style project has always been important. It becomes even more significant if pathway happens to be leadership development. Because in leadership context, style is intertwined with development. So this project assisted and supported me to entangle both of them and treat the style separately from the development in the leadership context. The style of leadership doesn't appear from nowhere. The best leader analyzes a situation and adjusts his or her leadership accordingly. Then they name the style, whatever emerge from that adjustment. In other words, we nurture our leadership every day or our leadership style. My case is in point. Without being concerned about any style, I tried to build my career or leadership career as per requirement of the organization. I served more than around 20 years in public sectors in different capacities at different places and mold my leadership according to the requirement of my organization. Lately, it was revealed that the style I had adopted all along was close to the bureaucratic style. It seemed that I unwittingly or unconsciously had been observing my senior colleagues and emulating them, which then perhaps became my model behavior or style. There is, however, a profoundly disturbing reality. Lately, the very name of bureaucracy has become the target of unsavory remarks from all corners, especially from the urban, educated middle class and professionals. Now, a bureaucratic style is in its basic form a system of management whereby employees are made to follow certain rules created by a single authority above them. Now, I'm sticking with this style despite so many curses it earned because I believe that it contains element of all style of leadership. Here is an example. Holding meeting and forming committee can be cited as two quintessential example of this leadership. Regardless what happened in practice, holding meeting and forming committee is all about taking relevant stakeholders into the table and creating a consensus-based decisions. I can guarantee that no style of leadership can be as democratic as this ill-famed style of leadership called bureaucracy. Now, dear Toastmasters, applying the leadership to the people is not always hunky-dory. Sometimes it is difficult to effectively lead people with styles different from you. Currently, 432 people are working with me. I'm the only person from the public sector. The rest of the people are hired from the market on short-term basis, purely on contract base till the life of my current project. Now, the compelling interest of my superior at policy level and my project employees is currently a leadership challenge for me to overcome. But I believe that sometime being between the devil and the deep sea is something not bad. It makes you tough and forces you to go out from your comfort zone and take the difficult decisions that you want to say. After all, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay. Now, based on my experience, I have drawn from my organization and the observation from the other organizations. I now believe that no matter what your primary style in leadership is, every style of leadership is context constraint. We, for example, cannot export Jeffersonian democracy across the Atlantic and plant it into Maoist China. Perhaps it is best to say that there is no one best style of leadership. The best style of leadership depends on a situation or a task to be performed in any given time. The rest is all about details. Toastmaster of the day.
Six minute 23.
Now it's time for the fifth speaker, TM Karim Meghani.
Actually, Toastmaster Kareem faced a medical emergency, so he won't be delivering the speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on to the last speaker, TM Bijar Khan.
Yes.
Call upon is evaluated TM Umair Ahmed to tell us the speech objectives.
Mr. T.M. Bijar Khan will be presenting his speech of presentation mastery level 2 project 3, and the name of his presentation is What a Wonderful World. His time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Mr. Bijar Khan.
Do you want the presentation to?
No, I think it's fine.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I see that a lot of my fellow Toastmasters are missing today. So please, I hope to see you guys next time. My topic today is what a wonderful world. I was driving my car and my mother was sitting in the passenger seat. And I was listening to something which she didn't like. This song was from 1967. And it had been sung by this person called Louis Armstrong. My mother made a weird face. "Yaar, ye tum kya sun rahe ho?" And I explained that song to her and what it was about. And to her annoyance, I replayed that song right after that. So that time stuck with me, that moment stuck. I'll try to remember a few phrases from the song. I see trees that are green, roses that are red, they bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And that song is still evergreen. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about part of the world which you are all familiar with. This is also known as the land of pizza. If anyone can take a guess about the name of this country, please.
Italy.
Italy. All of us love pizzas and we should thank the Italians for it. The capital of this country, city of Rome, is one of the oldest cities in the world. Rome has been credited with giving us the concept of democracy, where the people rule. It's got one of the oldest collections of art, amazing museums, and because of these, a thriving touristic industry or tourism industry. It's also given us a few other things, which I'll explain later on. My passion for traveling led me to Rome a few months ago, and I was able to visit different parts of it. Did you know that Italians compete with each other on who has the best tomatoes in the region? The south of Italy, Naples, they have a type of tomato which they call Pacino tomato. And Pacino, popularly you guys would know as, is just cherry tomato. Very small ones that we see in our homes, the ones that we put in salads. There's another one which grows in the north of the country. They call it San Manzani. And it's a long tomato, which I'm sure none of you here have seen. Any Italian dish that you can think of, I challenge you to tell me if it doesn't have tomato as one of the ingredients. It is the core of their cuisine. In fact, let me share another thing with you. So they don't call tomatoes tomatoes. They call them pomodoro. You go to any Italian restaurant, menu will say pomodoro, and you're like, what is this? Nice. I'll talk about their history. I'll talk about some of their other foods as well. Naples is the city where olives are grown. It's also the city where the first pizza in the world was ever made. But I challenge you guys, tell me a restaurant where you will find an original Neapolitan pizza or Neapolitan pizza. Due to our spicy taste buds, we might not be a big fan of the traditional Italian, but they have stuck to their old traditions and they still maintain their history in that. Another interesting fact about the Italian cuisine is how they fight or bicker with each other. The North will always say that our cuisine is the best. The South will say, these guys are fools. Look at us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all and over to you.
Have all the speakers qualified?
Timer, please report.
Yes, all the speakers are qualified.
All right. Okay, I'm floating the poll, everyone. Meanwhile, Madam Toastmaster, you can continue.
Okay, now it's time for the second session of the, now it's time for the second session of the meeting, second segment of the meeting. So that is the table topic evaluation. So I'll be calling the table topic evaluator, that is DTM Talha bin Hamid. Master.
Actually,
Master.
okay. Just let me float the poll. Just prepared. So everyone, the poll is in the Zoom chat and before I can start the topics, I need the table topics evaluator to join. Let me call them up. Once I'm joining. You starting. That's okay. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, everyone. So in the few seconds, the table topics evaluator is joining. Meanwhile, let me explain the theme of the table topics today. What will be happening is that we will be actually going along with the theme of the meeting, which is cappuccino and the taste of life. And we'll be asking people to speak about different tastes. The difference would be, though, that they will be in pairs. They will not be on the stage together. So they will be sequential, just like routine table topics. But a debate will be presented between two items of food. And people will be asked to defend one of them, right? So let me collect the volunteers first. Who would like to volunteer from the online participants for this table topic? Any volunteers? So how about, okay. How about DTM Sarfraz? Are you up for a table topic? I know you said that you just wanted to enjoy the meeting, but would you like to? All right. Okay. Toastmaster rules are covered. I think you would like to have a go. All right.
DTM Tala, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah. Would you like to be a table topic participant?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So actually, we are not taking people who have already spoken as a speaker. All right. So your counterpart would be Toastmaster Abid Ali Habib. Toastmaster Abid. Are you there? All right. We have a guest, Mohammed Mehdi. Would you like to participate, Toastmaster Mohammed Mehdi, or guest? What is it with people? I mean, seriously. My table topics won't be scary. Toastmaster Abid or Toastmaster guest Mohammed Mehdi, any of you, would you like to volunteer? All right. DTM Sarfraz, last call. There he is.
Yes,
All right.
DTM Tala.
Yeah. Apologies for not respecting your wishes, but
Uh,
I believe
I was away, so I didn't hear you. I just heard my name.
Yeah. But this will hopefully add to your enjoyment of the meeting. So, Toastmaster Rusta and DTM Sarfraz, you will be engaged in a debate. And the debate will be, wait for it. Are you sitting down? Yes, both of you are sitting down.
Yes.
Yeah. Pulao versus biryani. So, DTM Sarfraz, first you will speak in favor of biryani. And after that, Toastmaster Rusa, you will prove that pulao is the be all and end all of all dishes. Is that all right? So, DTM Sarfraz, you first.
Yes, I love biryani, especially the chicken biryani or vegetable biryani. The aroma, the spices, the taste, the color, they all call you. Come to me. I'm biryani. I've been waiting for you all my life. Oh, it really makes a difference if you throw in some potatoes, alus. And I remember I was at a wedding and I took some biryani, but there were no potatoes in my plate. And then a few minutes later, I saw someone having biryani and I saw several potatoes. I said, where did the potatoes come from? They said, they are in the biryani. I said, I didn't see. So I went over there. I said, I want biryani that has some potatoes in it. And someone said, oh, we'll just take some home for you. And someone said, oh, look, they're going to parcel biryani with them. They're stealing our biryani. Ah, okay. Biryani is great. But now, I don't know. Let's see what Arusa has to talk about it. I love biryani.
All right.
So much can I start?
Yes, sure.
That was a very nice story, DTM Sarfraz. But I think, weddings should have pulao. Think about it. I mean, you did not get the potatoes, right? So what if you would not get, the gravy side of the biryani also? That will be, pulao, only rice and just a little bit of cooking. And that would make it very quick also. That is, pulao cooks very quickly also. Biryani takes a lot of time to cook. You have to make the gravy separately, then you have to make the rice separately, then you have to mix the two. Making pulao is very easy. You get it in maybe, for me personally, when I cook, it's less than 1 hour. So I think pulao should be the main dish in weddings and in every kind of, function.
The time does not matter. I'm not the one who cooks it. I just eat it.
So, are you done, Toastmaster Rusa?
Back,
Yes, I'm done. Yes, I'm done. Over
back to you,
DTM.
DTM Talha.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. We will have
Thank you.
2 more online participants. Toastmaster Shehroz Khan, would you like to be given a chance? All right. So yes, Toastmaster Shehroz. Yeah, we will stop the live streaming for you. All right. You can turn on your video.